Hey guys, it's Phillip here, and I want to take some time today to talk about and dissect a bit about gamifying concepts in games in order to make them easier to understand. Specifically, I want to talk about enhancing your mechanical skill. So, simply put, in this video, I want to break down some examples of gamifying at work, talk about one of my favorite gamified concepts, and then at the end, talk about some Overwatch. So let's talk about gamification. Gamification is the application of game design elements and game principles in non-gaming contexts. To give an example of it, let's talk about Edutainment. The Oregon Trail is one of the oldest examples of an edutainment game and has basically become a meme at this point. Whether it's the fact you died of dysentery, or a numerous amount of other ways to grisly meet your end, children were still able to mount their own expedition in order to travel the Oregon Trail to experience the life of settlers trying to make it out to Idaho. As a learning tool, I don't know if many can use as a reference for well-developed learning, because the best part about almost every iteration of the Oregon Trail is a small hunting minigame, and isn't really an example I want to use. So what I do want to use for an example is... Hey guys, so you know that bit I just did where I had Mario's missing? No. It was all a trick. I deceived you. Oh, that didn't end well. Fuck my pick. What I want to talk about though is the logical journey of the Zoombinis. Or just Zoombinis if you want to keep it short. The Zoombinis were a game about helping a small civilization of creatures called Zoombinis travel across a dangerous land in order to reach a safe and new homeland while trying to keep your group intact. And it's a game filled with logical puzzles for you and your little customizable survivors to get through in order to repopulate. You're given a handful of different and constantly adjusting scenarios to get your group through, and the game is about getting as many as you can to the end. While I can't talk and give much justice to it, I'll leave a link below to a video on the game made by Moose. The important thing to note is what good edutainment games do. They change what your end goal is. In the logical journey of the Zoombinis, the end goal for the students isn't to learn logical and reasoning skills. The end goal is to get your creatures to a new home safely while overcoming dangerous obstacles that require logic and reasoning skills. This shift in dynamic is extremely important because when learning becomes secondary, having fun is the primary goal, while still relying on developing logic and reasoning skills to achieve it. More importantly, edutainment games have been studied and the results are mostly positive. From the article, Comparing the Impacts of Tutorial and Edutainment Software Programs on Students' Achievements, Misconceptions, and Attitudes Toward Biology, authored by Yilmaz Kara and Salemi Yeselyer, they took 72 ninth graders and split them into 3 groups, 2 experimental groups and 1 control group. No students had any prior experience to the online computer-assisted instruction, but were all still computer literate. The control group used the standard for teaching, which was giving lectures and having discussions about the material. The children would read information before class, and the major part of their time with the instructor came from having discussions about the material. The students in the experimental groups, however, were taken to a computer lab and all given 2 separate programs. Experimental Group 1 used the software Rediscover Science and Math, while the second group used the software Bioscopia. Rediscover Science and Math was software made by Edunetics, Incorporated in 2000, which was used to address and make connections to higher-order creative and critical thinking. Bioscopia is a role-playing science adventure game in which students partake on a mission to save a scientist. The students explore different locations and solve puzzles using their knowledge on the subject matter to help create an antibiotic to help save the doctor. In order to have a measured response to the experiment, the researchers had every student take 2 tests. The tests were the Cell Division Achievement Test and the Biology Attitude Test. The achievement test was made by the authors of the study and was made based off the Ministry of National Education's high school curriculum, and the biological attitude scale was given as a way to determine the positive and negative attitudes the students had to the criteria. The pretest had no large degree in median deviation, but the post-test saw statistical improvements with the experimental groups having the most positive growth. In the achievement test, Experimental Group 1 saw the most growth with a 6.291 average increase, which was greater than Experimental Group 2's enhancement by 0.8. But the attitudes towards learning the concepts increased the most with Experimental Group 2, who had their mean average higher than the Experimental Group 1 by 4. In the conclusion to this article, the authors denote how educational software may be helpful for students for researching and teaching. I'll leave a link to where you can download the research for yourself as well and take a peek at it. I can say this because I'm still a pretty big dude and have no problem with being the butt of a joke, but the idea of a fat kid chasing an ice cream truck perfectly summarizes what I want to convey. The end goal is a kid wanting to get himself some ice cream, and in order to do so, he has to run. Running is getting him exercise and helping him burn calories while he's trying to fulfill his prerogative of getting ice cream. Now, one of my favorite examples of gamifying in action is through fighting games. I used to be a pretty dedicated Smash 4 player, and I mained Kirby throughout my whole time of playing it. Ultimate, it's alright, but I kind of moved on to different games, so while I don't really play fighting games that much myself anymore, I still do really enjoy watching and understanding them. You'll have your more complicated games like Unist, which apparently fucking stands for, what is it? Undernight Imbirth EXE late bracket ST. Okay, look, I still love my fair share of anime, but when you have things like Unist or the DLC for one of my favorite games, Nier Automata, being 3C3C1D11-9440927 being the actual name of the DLC, that doesn't... What even is that? That might as well be a hexadecimal code used to store more lewds of 2B. But anyways, while we still have our extremely complicated games like Unist, Guilty Gear, and Arcana Hearts, we still have also our very newbie friendly games like Fantasy Strike recently or Dive Kick. Fighting games are one of my favorite genre of games because your end goal is directly in front of you. In order to win, you have to beat your opponent up. Also, for the rest of the video, I'm going to replace the term end goal with objective, because conceptually they're the same thing, but objective just is a lot easier to say. With your objective being clear, it's just a matter of how you get there. Each fighting game has a different road for you to get there based on the game's variation of execution. Anime fighting games are notoriously the most complicated fighting games to get into just based on how the execution of combos and moves are done. You have some characters from games that involve you inputting a quarter circle forward, then followed by a 5-point start on your left control stick, or some that require you having a buffered input of 5 full circles, making the input a 1,800 degree move. And that's not even accounting for the timing in between moves and the spacing you have to have for that in order to actually have combos come out. It gets really complicated, and instead of talking about the super complex, let's talk about what everyone can do. One of my favorite members in the FGC is a man named Brett Bayonne. I feel like you rarely see anyone who's as great as him when it comes to teaching people who he knows what he knows. He has a series of videos in which he teaches his friend Gerard how to play Street Fighter V in preparation for EVO. Throughout the lengthy series, they go over a lot of basic and advanced fighting game concepts, but they hit on a really unique thing that I've already talked about in this video, changing the dynamic in order to help you learn. In fighting games, your objective is to win. But what if you don't make winning the main objective?
Some things you have gotten over, and we're very proud of you for that. But today we're going to specifically address breaking bad habits.
Oh boy.
Not when
so that's the name of the episode, Breaking Bad Habits?
Right, so not when you're addicted to the AMC show, but
the meth,
we're breaking bad habits.
Yeah.
But instead, Gerard, what we're going to be doing is I'm going to try my best to get you to break your bad habits. I'm going to show you that you don't need the things you rely on. That's the end of the sentence. You don't need the things that you rely on, even though you think you might. So, Gerard, I'm going to tell you what. For this battle...
I want that white gi one.
Wait, this one, the very last one?
Yeah,
Great.
that one's good.
For this battle, Gerard?
Yes, Sensei.
Every time you sweep...
Yes, Sensei.
I get to hit him?
You owe me $1.
Oh my god.
Don't do that!
Real talk. You owe me $1.
That's it.
Okay, that's fine.
Same thing goes for me. If you sweep and I block or it whiffs, you owe me $1. Same thing for me. If I sweep and you block or it whiffs, I owe you $1.
Yep.
But if you hit me with your sweep, I'll give you $1.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's a two-way street.
Guys, I feel real dirty because I just feel like the money man in all of this. I feel like I'm just the banker.
You're the Chinese dude in the underground fight club. How about it? You know, like, that hauls all the money.
Oh, yeah.
Let's do it.
Okay, good.
Let's
I got a
go
big
for it.
mustache. Build
All right.
big Fu Manchu. Here we go.
So while winning is still an important thing to do in a fighting game, Brett changed the dynamic in order to make winning secondary to playing without certain moves Gerard relied on. And that becomes extremely important for Gerard to weigh in his options and adapt accordingly, and through adaptation, Gerard gets better.
Couldn't do heavy because he was scared of the heavy
Did you see
kick?
the medium kick
Yeah,
happen?
I saw that.
When does that happen? Never.
Never
But he's got
happens.
now because money's on the
He's
line.
got no choice. Yeah, I had no idea just making Gerard pay real money was gonna get him in the fucking zone.
Hey, man, you gotta attack people where it hurts.
Ooh, punish.
Nice punish, dude. Oh my god, he's playing better than he's ever played before!
It's the best he's ever played.
That's what I'm saying! Jard?
What?
I don't know if you're noticing.
I'm not jumping.
Are you noticing that you're playing better than you've ever played before?
Yeah?
Great.
Yeah, I want to let you know, your ground game, like just you controlling space, was really good that last round.
What's potentially the most important thing to note here is when Gerard figures out how to win the current objective in his matchup against Brett's birdie. Every time Brett goes for that certain headbutt move, Gerard counters it with a sweep, getting him $1. So while throughout the video Gerard is still playing to win, Gerard's also making sure that he can at least leave some more money in his wallet.
Problem that you have, and go online, do between 3 and 6 matches. Maybe you treat it like this. I'll do $1.
3 and 6.
Between 3 and 6 matches, like we did. You know what I mean? In rounds and stuff like that.
You owe me $2.
Oh my god!
I didn't sweep.
I sweeped you twice.
Landing his sweeps.
I'm fucking listening to this. I can't concentrate. I'm losing money.
No, identify something yourself. Completely knock it out. Ding, ding, ding,
God damn it. God damn it.
Oh my god, Gerard is getting so many dollars. Gerard just took your piggy bank and threw it on the floor.
He's figuring out that he can punish that with sleep, and he's just making money. Gerard's like, wait a minute.
Oh my
I
god.
can make some money.
Gerard is like a baker. Like a baker for the 40s.
God damn it.
Oh my god.
Come here, motherfucker.
I'm not even mad at this
All right.
point.
Yeah. That's bad.
Oh my god.
God
oh
damn
my
it.
god, the dollars are so real.
God damn it.
Dollars are so real.
God damn it.
Yo, welcome to the dojo where Michael Santel tells Brett to block low. Brett, don't get hit by them sweeps no more.
No, that's he's punishing me for
hold
like
up.
my bullshit.
I gotta.
So what do edutainment games, fighting games, and some blue dudes walking around on an island have to do with anything? Widowmaker is a character whose entire kit is based around killing people, but killing people isn't ever an actual objective in Overwatch games. Overwatch Quick Play and Competitive are entirely based around payload, 2CP, hybrid, or control point. Widowmaker's primary objective is to kill people from a safe distance and give her team the advantage to score the objective. But what if we take away a team and make her objective what she does best? With those two pretty contrived scenarios, you then get Widowmaker headshot games. Widowmaker headshot games are nothing new, but they're probably some of the best lobbies I've played in to be able to practice against other people. Everyone has the exact same playing field, so positioning, accuracy, and precision are key. A key fundamental fact, though, is understanding not to be grading yourself against others. Understanding your own personal achievements and being able to celebrate what you did that works well and critique yourself without also demeaning yourself is extremely important to know how to do when it comes to learning practically anything new. I had never really played in any FPSs prior to playing Overwatch, but being able to say that when my Widowmaker was at its best, I'd be able to throw down with anyone and probably have a good game, still feels really good, and I still hold on to those mechanical skills that I gained by playing Widowmaker. I mostly play Ashe now, as I find that she's a bit more flexible in most team comps, but you still can't replace that power of making your enemy team lose a person on the spot. And with the recent addition of the Overwatch Workshop, hopefully we'll see a big increase in modes to help understand heroes more. A handful of users have been making a lot of Lucio surfing custom game lobbies that help you learn and maximize Lucio's wall rides across almost entire maps. And while this is still really hopeful, hopefully we'll be able to also make a database that helps us provide newbies with information on how to play a hero or how to better understand the mechanics of a hero. For example, what if we made a mode that was called Reinhardt Footsies, in which one Reinhardt is against a Reinhardt in the Bastion, and the Reinhardt has to make sure that he doesn't die, doesn't the shield break, and doesn't get shattered. In which case the Reinhardt then has to constantly weigh in the factors of how much damage he's taking, how much shield HP he has, and also when that Reinhardt might try and shatter him. Being able to throw in a lot of different concepts and see what works and what doesn't will be awesome to see, and if we can actually make learning in Overwatch not a pain to do, that'd be phenomenal for helping more people learn and more people understand how to play characters and be able to flex more. I'm entirely spitballing when I say most of this, but hey, hopefully the Overwatch Workshop will be a great tool for us to use and will lead to expanses in the meta. And also get rid of Bricky Day, so that's always good. Hey guys, it's Phillip here, and it's about to hit midnight in about 10 minutes, but I just finished editing the video finally, and I do want to have an outro for it, so this is what that is. I want to say a few thanks to everyone that's in the Dr. Beppis Discord, because I've known you guys since high school. I want to give a big thanks to a friend of mine named Kawhi, who is a giant reason for why I can get out of bed in the morning. Pun entirely intended. Thanks to Daniel at DZZP on Twitter, and also thank you, the viewer. I also want to not be recording at midnight, but I also kind of want to do just chill videos like this of just talking to the camera and talking about what's on my mind. But we'll see what happens. So aside from that, thanks a bunch, and I'll see you guys later.